Got a little bit of work last week. Dolan, the quarterback, was 7 of 8 for 127 yards and a touchdown. He finds his tight end Christian Henchy as one of his top targets. Same formation. Twins to the near side. They fake to Nelson. Nolan's going to keep it himself. He carries back to the original line of scrimmage. He crosses the 30, and there's a penalty marker down. And it looks like Absegami again could be called for holding.
Yeah, that was a good run there by Dolan, and Coach Coffey said that he was very worried about Dolan, not just because of the way he throws the football, but he also runs it very, very well, and that's the call. It is holding or an eagle block against Absegami, so 2 for 2, Mike.
The Atlantic City Electric scoreboard's already lighting up, guys. We'll have updates throughout the night. Buna's on the board, a 42-yard touchdown pass, Rainier to Julia. In that game, Buna's up 7-0, and Middle Township leads Pleasantville 7-0 already on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Some of these games have been starting a little earlier. You know, last week at Middle, they kicked off about 10-7, so we got a lot of early scores. This one is in the early stages, 11:40 and counting here at the Mustang Corral. 2 penalties in a row brings up 1st and 20 for Absegami. Hood is the single setback in the backfield alongside Dolan. He sends a man in motion to the far side of the field. They fake it. There's another penalty, this time for illegal procedure, and the Braves will walk back 5 more. It'll be 1st and 25.
I don't know what the record is here, Mike, but they have yet to run a play in this game where there was not a penalty. So they started at their own 31-yard line, and they've done nothing but move backwards.
1st and 25 at their own 15. Dolan has Hood to his right, Twins to the near side, and a receiver split to the far side. Back to throw is Dolan. He looks, he fires, he's got a man, and it is complete at the 25 to the 30-yard line. Brandon Williams makes the catch and gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and maybe some more. It's a good first down pickup for Absegami as they get right back on the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down for Absegami, 2nd and 9.
Very nice play. He was just waiting for the football there, Mike. Had a lot of space.
Dolan to throw. Steps up. Fire a little bubble screen. Caught at the 35 to the 40. Crosses over to the 45. Across the 50 and into enemy territory on the far side of the field. Making the catch for Absegami is Tyler Welsh, the 5'10" junior.
Very nicely thrown there. He's been very accurate thus far, Mike. Dolan has.
Dolan in a shotgun. They're on the move. Twins to the near side. Twins to both, 4 receivers. Dolan hands off to Hood, right up the middle, and Mainland's stout defense is there, and Hood gets pushed back. They gain about a yard on the play as big number 64, 64, Kenny Randall in there, and he's a load.
6'3", 301 pounds. That is considered low.
Dolan sends 3 receivers to the near side, and there's 2 to the far side. Dolan to throw. Now he's pressured, rolls, fires, and it is complete. 1st down yardage at the 35, and the 30 on the far side of the field. Another nice catch there by Welch.
Welch has gotten open, and Dolan is very elusive in the pocket. If he doesn't find anything right away, he'll roll to the left as he did right there, and then gave himself some space, some time, and then found the receiver.
1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line, the 30-yard line, and they hand it to Hood this time. Hood breaks it to the outside at the 20, at the 15 to 10, and he's knocked out of bounds. And Hood goes down inside the 10-yard line. It looks like it's going to be a pickup. Oh, there's a flag on the play, too. That was Vinny Nelson, the slot man. And it's holding against Absegami. You know, I talked to Dennis Scuderi after the game. I said, what do you need to work on for Mainland? He said, we got to cut out the penalties and the turnovers. And so far, the penalties have killed them in this game.
And believe it or not, they were able to overcome a 1st and 25, pick up a 1st down.
Wow,
they've been getting big chunks of yardage, Mike, but now look where they are is right.
They were going to be inside the 10. They marched this ball all the way back to the 39-yard line. 1st and 19, ball at the 39. 4 wide receivers split for Gammy. Dolan in shotgun. Fakes to Hood. Now he rolls to the far side. He fires, and it is incomplete off the hands of Welsh, who had it in his hands. It was a little high and to the left, though.
But I think that he'll tell you himself, Mike, he should have had it. It was high. He had his hands on it. It just hopped off his hands, but he was open.
Maurice Hubbard in the slot to the near side with Brandon Williams. And now Williams flips to the far side of the field, and coming to the near side is Welsh. Trips to the far side, Welsh to the near side. In the backfield is Will Sands. Dolan is shotgun, back to throw, he's gonna get hit, and down he goes! Right at midfield on a little blitz there was Dean Devaney, it looks like, who got him from the linebacker blitz. Big Dean Devaney in there getting a sack for Mainland.
Yeah, he came clean, no question about it. Nobody picked him up, and he had a clear shot at Dolan, the quarterback, and he did not miss him. And now it's 3rd and forever.
Actually, I think that's James Brennan on the corner blitz there for Mainland. Now the snap is fumbled. Dolan picks it up and runs with it, and he gets up to about the 45-yard line. What a weird offensive series of possession this has been for Absegami. They went all the way in the goal line. A penalty brought them back. There's got to be 5 penalties for them, and they're right around midfield. And now finally, it looks like on 3rd down and forever, or excuse me, 4th down and forever, they're going to punt the ball.
They're going to punt the football. They're going to punt it actually from the 46-yard line of Mainland. So the only thing they can come out of this with, Mike, is they can pin Mainland deep in their own territory.
Henshey to punt. Mainland sends a returner back to the 15-yard line, and the punt is a short one, and it is going to bounce out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. There's under 9 minutes to play here in Mainland tonight. The Mustangs and the Braves, 0-0 is our score, and Mainland will have the ball for the first time tonight on offense. They'll move 1st and 10, moving right to left on your radio dial.
Harbor Pines Golf Club in Emer Harbor Township. Championship golf, extraordinary course conditions and membership options for every type of golfer. Go to harborpines.com. John
Mindish is the quarterback for the Mustangs, and Justin Walsh, one of the running backs for the Mustangs that they will feature here tonight. They send a man in motion to the near side, and they have a straight eye in the backfield with the quarterback in kind of a pistol, and he hands it off to Walsh. Nowhere to go. Absegami's stout defense is up for the challenge. Abdullah Anderson makes the stop for Absegami.
Yeah, he got there just as he took the handoff, and Abdullah is 6'3", 230-pounder. He's a senior, and he was right there.
He made some plays last week. He was a big key in the game for Absegami. The Mustangs break the huddle, and I apologize. They have a forest green with black numerals, so they are very difficult to see. Mindish in a pistol sends a man in motion to the near side, and the back takes it right up the middle is Justin Walsh, and Walsh picks up about 4 on the play. Ball is across the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd down for the Mustangs. Bucky Amen makes a stop for Absegami. 3rd down and about 5 for the Mustangs.
So a little manageable, more manageable situation here at 3rd down with a pickup on 2nd.
A couple scores on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard coming in. We'll get you those in a minute. Mainland running out of the pistol formation. Mindish in the short shotgun. He fires to the far side of the field. It's complete, but right away, not close to the 1st down on the far side of the field. Absegami up for the challenge. We'll try to get you that receiver who caught the football. It looked like Brennan over there make the catch, and that is going to be short of a 1st down, and the Mustangs are going to go 3 and out here.
That particular play, Mike, they were depending on Brennan breaking a tackle and picking up the 1st down because it was just a short pass to the right flat. No way he had the 1st down when he caught it. But as he cut back to the inside, Absegami right there, very sure tackling on the play.
Mike Giuliano is the punter for the Mustangs. He stands at about his 25-yard line. Dave Hood back deep to return. The dangerous return man stands at around his own 20-yard line. It's a low snap. It gets past Giuliano. Now he picks it up. He's going to tuck the ball and try to run with it, but nowhere to go as Dan Toth was right there for Absegami to bring him down, and there is a flag on the play. We'll see what that is. The Braves might be in business here as they pick up a big miscue by Mainland. As you see the video over at 97.3ESPN.com, You can see the low snap. It rolls past Giuliano, and it looks like encroachment on Mainland. So actually the guy who made that tackle was Abdullah Anderson. He was the first one there for Absegami. So Absegami will decline the penalty and take over on downs. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Finally, a penalty goes their way, Mike.
Indeed. Well, they were going to make out anyway because Mainland had the miscue. Dolan hands it off to the far side of the field. Bouncing to the outside is Hubbard, the slot man, and Hubbard picks up about 4 on the play, it looks like. 2nd down for Absegami.
Looks like Bryce Edmonds making the tackle along with Vitale.
Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Buna 14-0 now over Lower Cape May, and Violin scores a touchdown. They lead 7-0. Here it's 0-0. 2nd down, Dolan to throw. He steps up, he fires, he's got a man. It's incomplete through the hands. And we say through the hands of Brandon Williams. He had that one. He was open.
No question. One of those comeback passes where he drives his defender deep and then turns around, comes back toward his quarterback. Had it right in his hand. Perfect timing. Just didn't catch it.
So Williams with the drop. And Absegami on 3rd down and 9 at the 18-yard line. Dolan has Hood to his right. They haven't ran much the ball with David Hood after a 200-yard game. Now a little screen pass. They set it up, but Dolan fires it with some pressure coming over the head of David Hood, and it will be 4th down. We'll see what they do here. Do they kick a field goal, or are they going to try to go for it on 4th down and 9 at the 18?
They had Washab Malik out in front of them, set up perfectly, but as you called it, Mike, it was overthrown significantly. So,
and they're going to go for it, Tony.
All right.
So they will not try a Will Sands field goal here. Or will they? Here comes Sands. He's now on the field, but he's coming in as a running back. So he'll go to the right of Dolan. 4 wide receivers. They spread the field. Dolan to throw on 4th down. He fires. He's got a man open in the end zone, and he throws it out of bounds, intended for Hood, and they're going to turn the football over on downs.
They are, but they kind of figure we still have them pinned back in their own territory, deep in their own territory, so we'll take our chances. We have faith in our defense. They played very well in that first series.
Hey, listen and watch live video of this game over at 97.3ESPN.com. That's courtesy of Matt Ulmer of Ulmer's Appliance Service in Ocean City. We've got the live video feed so you can watch the game right there. Ulmer's Appliance Service. Washers, dryers, ranges, refrigerators, but as I was told, not my bathroom sink. And another flag as Mindich turned to handle Walsh. Another penalty, it looks like, on the Mustangs, and they will walk back yet again. This has been an ugly first quarter with 5:45 left to play in the first quarter. More going backwards than forwards thus far. And this one is on actually Absegami. And I think that's an illegal substitution for the Braves. They might have had a guy a little late getting out of that huddle there. Mindich hands off to Welsh, and he has no place to go. This Absegami defense, they were up for the challenge last week. They just gave up that 1 touchdown, and in on the tackle, Ryan Kurtz and Tyler Grace. You know, they virtually gave Middle a touchdown last week. Their defense, and Dennis Scuderi said, listen, with my defense, because I asked him, there was 1:30 left. They could have ran some clock. They ran 3 pass plays in a row and gave the ball back to Middle. I said, do you regret that? He said, with my defense, no, I don't.
That's confidence.
2nd and 5. Ball at the 23. Mindich to throw. He fires. He's got a completed pass. It's in the flat little bubble area and short of the 30-yard line. Making the catch for Mainland is Bryce Edmonds. Tyler Welsh, the receiver, on offense, playing some defense, making a tackle there for Absegami. It'll be 3rd down and about 1 here, Tony. So maybe see Justin Walsh right up the middle here. We'll see what they end up doing. Also, Nick Drobinick and Quinn Vitale, a couple of the backs for Mainland. Mindich in a shotgun. He's got Walsh behind him. Mindich hands to Walsh up the middle, and he is met and hit, and he drives forward, though. That second effort Might have got it for him. We'll see. Abdullah in the mix as Tyler Walsh. We'll see where they mark this. Tony believes it will be a first down, and it is.
Yeah, he was stuck just as he got the football, but as you said, Mike, he didn't give up on the play. Kept the legs driving and that forward lean, falling forward, running downhill, as they say. That's what got that first down for him.
Mindich in the pistol. And it's a high snap, and there's a flag. It looks like a Mustang moved. It looked like the right guard, Dave Donovan, might have been the guy who popped up.
I don't think I've seen a game like this where we've had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 penalties already.
4:08 to go, first quarter. There's probably more penalties in this game than we saw all last week in Absegami versus Middle. It's been an ugly played first quarter, but we have no score. Both these teams at 1 and 2 looking to go up in the division, in the conference, we should say, in the American Conference to 1-0. Walsh carries, and he is swallowed by Abdullah Anderson, who really wrapped him up around the shoulder pad there and brought him down.
No question about it. He had help from John Seawright as well. So they are playing very, very good defense. A lot of gap control. They're playing exactly where they should be playing. And one thing they really are doing, Mike, is they are really tackling well.
3:24 to play. 2nd and 15 for Mainland. They send pair of receivers to the far side of the field. Mindich in the pistol. He fakes to Walsh. He rolls out. He fires. Hits a completed pass. And down immediately, Nick Drobenik makes the stop. Kristen Henschey's there to make the tackle. So Drobenik catches, but no place to go. And over on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, we've got Hamilton 13-0 in their game tonight. So some scores from around the league are coming in fast and furious. We've got none here. It's 0-0 here on 97.3 ESPN.
So now 3rd and 11. Tough spot for the Mustangs against this very stout Absegami defense.
Una is now up 21-0. That game against Lower Cape May on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Twins to the near side. Welsh. Mindich fires. He fakes to Rush. He's got it over the middle. It's complete. Complete to 40. The 30. The 20. And into the end zone for the Mustangs score. Yards.
Is that Brennan?
It's really tough to tell. I think it was Brennan on the score. He caught the ball over the middle at around the 50 and just took off. Trying to look at the video over at 97.3ESPN.com, and it looks like it could have been Ryan Swenson with the catch. I believe it was Swenson, 84, with the kick. Michael Giuliano kicks it through the uprights, and it's good. We've got a 7-0 score here. Mustangs 7, Braves 0. This is 97.3 ESPN.
Broadcast of Cape Atlantic League Sports brought to you with the support of the McMahon Agency, Insurance Agency, voted National Flood Insurance Program Agency of the Year, specializing in home, business, auto, flood, and boat insurance. McMahon Agency turns protection into peace of mind. If it matters to you, it matters to them. Reach them at 609-399-0060, that is, 399-0060, or online at McMahonAgency.com. McMahon Agency, Insurance Agency of Ocean City, Marmora, and Mays Landing. The coverage you need, the service you deserve.
And I'm told it was 83 Dean DeVinny, the tight end, who made the catch and caught that ball and went 70 yards. And Dean DeVinny turning on the Jets and outrunning the Braves defense. So DeVinny gets in. Mainland takes the lead. He's a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore. And Dean was a member of the team that went to the World Series a couple of years ago. A very good athlete. And you saw him turn on the Jets right there at the tight end spot. So just a sophomore, that could be a big weapon for Mainland.
Yeah, he was wide open. It was just a matter of whether the ball was going to get there.
Kick on the ground. It takes a high bounce, and it is still in the air. And it comes down as one of the Braves. It looks like Hood has it. Hood with a little move to the 30, at the 40, At the 50, he's got one man to beat up the sideline, and Hood is going to have to pull it back, and now he cuts it back to the middle of the field, and down and around the 10-yard line is David Hood. And last week, Tony, against Middle with 10 seconds left, kicked the ball off. Hood took it all the way down and got pushed down at the 2-yard line as the time expired in the first half. He almost made up for it there with a huge return of about 80 yards. And Absegami will have the ball, first and goal at the 9 with 2:07 to play in the first quarter.
Of course, Mainland didn't give up on the play. That was good right there.
They hand to Hood. Hood bounced, stutter steps. He almost lost the football. He is stood up and sent down, as right there is Kenny Randall in the middle of that Mustang 5-2 defense.
By the way, making the tackle on that play was James Javon and Mike. Okay, I'm sorry. Vitaly?
You're allowed to say it. Okay. Javon James.
Javon James. I'm sorry. I had it backwards. Didn't give up on the play.
Dolan, and here's another penalty. Hubbard was in motion. They faked it to him, but it looks like a encroachment penalty. Hubbard might have moved too early.
They just keep shooting themselves in the foot here. They're right there in the red zone, deep in the red zone. A great return by Hood, and now another 5-yard penalty against them sets him back.
Dennis Scuderi Jr. is out on the field, and he is not happy. He is laying into his guy. That's got to be the 8th penalty for them. Second down and goal at the 14-yard line. Back to throw. Dolan fires. It's batted up in the air, and getting his mitts on it is big number 81, Michael Velez, 6'2", 220 pounds. The senior.
Closest man to it was Roman Rodisha, and he almost made the reception for Absegami, but all they were caring about is it not falling into the hands of Mainland. And when that pops up in the air, ball pops up in the air like that, most of the time, the defense makes the play.
Dolan in shotgun. He's back to throw. He's looking. He's pressured. Now he's going to tuck in to run himself. He's got a man to beat, and he doesn't do it as he gets tackled down short of the goal line. He had a little crease there. He fired through the crease. And it looks like making the stop for Mainland is Michael Buka. So it's 4th down now, under a minute to play. We're rushing through everything here. Under a minute to play on 4th down and goal. And the ball is inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Dolan in shotgun. Dolan. Back to throw. He fires, and it is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Batted down at the line of scrimmage, and Mainland holds. They're going to take over on downs from their own 4-yard line with 35 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Twice now, passes were batted down at the line of scrimmage, and Dolan is only, 5'10", so he could have some trouble with the larger defensive lineman getting the ball through. If you don't have a passing lane, it's tough to complete passes. And Mainland now twice, Mike, has held Absegami deep in their own territory.
So Mainland will take over on downs from their own 4, and the pistol offense is Mindich. Mindich with a high snap. He hands it off to Welsh. Welsh breaks a tackle, gets forward, and now he's pushed backwards and nowhere to run once he got hit by Christian Hensey.
Hensey has had an outstanding game thus far for Absegami. Yeah, he was right in there and wouldn't let go.
Middle linebacker Christian Hensey scored a touchdown last week on a pass from Dolan, 47 yards. Right now, it looks like Mainland's going to let the clock run down here. It's under 10 seconds to go. And they are going to walk the length of the field with, they're going to get the last play, and they do. Mindich hands it off to Walsh, and Walsh gets a little bit of air running room, and he falls short of the 15-yard line, and it looks like they're going to be close to a first down here as they get the final play of the first quarter. So they beat the clock there, and will walk the length of the field with the score. The Mainland Mustangs 7, the Absegami Braves nothing. This is high school football on 97.3.
Interstate Batteries in Egg Harbor Township is now the 10th largest in the country, bringing their excellent service to 7 counties in South Jersey. They not only have a battery for your car, but for your boat, RV, motorcycle, ATV, truck, power chair, or your golf cart. Interstate Batteries, America's #1 replacement battery, is at 6064 Riga Avenue in EHT. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 till 5. Phone them at 609-646-5008. If you need a battery, you'll find it at Interstate Batteries. Tested and trusted. They are outrageously dependable. And the Bellevue Tavern, Main Street in Cape May Courthouse. Great food and great times at the Bellevue. Enjoy all the games along with their signature burgers, colossal salads, or great local seafood. Visit it on the web at BellevueTavern.com.
Mike Gill, Tony Blum, 97.3 ESPN, with the live video over at 97.3ESPN.com. Thanks to Homer's Appliance Service of Ocean City. We get ready to start the second quarter. The Mustangs leading the Braves 7-0 here on 97.3 ESPN.
So it's going to be third down and 2 from the 15-yard line. Mainland still deep in their own territory. There is no score. Mainland breaks and come out. Slot formation to the left side. Mendish in the pistol. Long count, looking over that Brave defense. Still looking it over. Takes the snap. Gives off to Walsh. Looking to sweep the left side, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and loses a couple of yards. So that'll bring up fourth down for Mainland.
Will Sands was the guy. He chased him down from the backside and jumped on his back, making sure he didn't get a first down on that one. This Brave defense has been very good, minus the one big play.
Michael Giuliano will again be punting. It'll be Hubbard back in a single safety. Along with Shiner, pardon me. Twin safeties.
I think you're the only guy still using that term.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's 2 of them back there, so I don't know what else you would call it. There's Giuliano standing at his 1-yard line.
No pressure.
Good kick. Spiral coming down at the 47-yard line of Mainland. Taken by Shiner. Starts off to his left. Gets a great block. They're going to call it a clip. He's across the 30-yard line, inside the 20, and rammed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. But again, this one is coming back.
Yeah, 44, Zach Ewing was the guy who knocked him out of bounds finally, but it doesn't matter. There was a penalty thrown back around the 42-yard line, and that's where they got Absegami for the block that sprung that run.
Was a good block. I mean, he decked him, but just didn't get the head in front of the body. That's what you call a clip. So still, they'll have good field position, Mike. The ball still moved back into their territory at their own 47-yard line, but without that clip, they would have had the ball inside Mainland's 20.
Absegami, it seems like they've dominated this game. They've moved the ball. They've had the ball inside the goal, first and goal a couple of times. They just haven't been able to punch it in, and then they had the big return, that they got nothing out of.
Yeah, those can come back to bite you, because if you don't score when you have the opportunities, and they have been dominating, you're right. So double slot formation. Dolan looking over to the side. Reshifts the running back to the right wing. In motion to the right side is Hood. Hood gets the call. Hood makes the turn. Cuts to his right. Across the midfield line. Continues driving along the right sideline, and he's bumped out of bounds or dumped at the 47-yard line of Mainland. Looks like he made 2 or 3 moves right inside the hole. First cut it up, then cut it to his right. Able to pick up 6 yards on first down.
Matt Becker in there making the hit for Mainland as well, one of the linebackers.
2nd and 6 for Absegami. No score with 10:25 left in the first half of play in the double slot formation. Dolan looking down at his wrist for the play. Long count. Resets the running back to the left wing. In motion is Hubbard. The double reverse inside counter to Hood. He's got the first down. Breaks out in the clear. Cuts to his left. He's inside the 30-yard line. Keeps driving, and he's knocked down inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. So the double reverse inside counter to Hood. First Hubbard gets the handoff, gives it to Hood, countering inside, and he made a big play.
Bryce Edmonds with the saving tackle for Mainland, and a couple other guys helping out there. But they used that play a couple times last week. They saw it against them a couple times last week, too.
So the ball at the 19-yard line. Taking the snap is Dolan. Dolan gives off to Hubbard. Has a blocker in front. Makes the turn. He's inside the 15-yard line, and he's going to be taken down at the 13-yard line. You can see the left side of that line, Mike. Really good blocking, and he had a real nice alley to run through.
James Brennan and Matt Becker making the tackle for Mainland.
Again, those 6 on first down. They'll take that every time. Will Sands sets on the right wing. In motion to the right side is Hood. Dolan keeps it himself, takes it right up the middle, and he is dumped hard at the 12.
Like a rodeo there. I mean, driven into the ground. And making the tackle is Michael Velez, the linebacker. I mean, he picked him up and just drove him into the ground there.
So Absegami again finding themselves in a very similar situation. 3rd and 3 from the 12-yard line. Still no score. The snap. Dolan sets, rolling right under pressure. Continues to roll. Throws over the middle, incomplete. He was under pressure, had to get rid of that football. I think Tyler Welsh might have been the intended receiver, but here we are again, Mike. 4th down, 3 yards to go.
You wonder if one of these times they decide to attempt to put some points on the board and kick a field goal.
Well, they're not going to do it here.
No. We saw Sands last week miss an extra point, so I'm assuming they're not very confident in their field goal kicking here.
Hood is split to the right side in a slot formation and taking their time at the line of scrimmage. Buck and men split out to the left side. Sands is the running back. Here's the snap to Dolan. Dolan rolling right. Throws complete, then incomplete. He drops the football. Welsh again had it, just couldn't hang on. So he's dropped a couple in this game. Mikey's been open, but just has not been able to really hang on. And here we go again. Mainland with a football at their own 10-yard line, and they have not been able to get out of this situation. And therefore, in this game, it's really been Absegami having great field position the entire game, but they don't have a thing to show for it.
Inside the 20 again, but all 4 times they've turned it over on downs. That ball should have been caught. I mean, Welsh right through his hands. He tried to get up the field before he had the football. He said, oh, it looks like a catch. Nope, right through his hands.
Slot formation to the right side. Mendes takes the snap, gives off to Welsh, looking to slice off left guard. May have picked up a yard. That's about it. We don't want to be redundant, but that Absegami Brave defense has played excellent here in this first quarter.
As unfortunate it has been for their offense so far tonight, they have been able to mask it with the defense that they have played so far, save for the 170-yard touchdown pass.
And they played their best defense inside their own 15-yard line. The snap to Mendes, sets, great protection, lobs it to the left side, and this one
intercepted.
Intercepted. Is that Welsh? It is. So he makes up to some degree, Mike, for his...
Yeah, he caught that one.
Yeah, he didn't catch the one at the goal line, but he made the pick, and that one was floated a little bit there by Mendes.
Mendes didn't really look like he had anybody open either. It looks like he just threw to an area, and there was 3 Braves there. I mean, really, any one of 3 guys could have made the catch there.
And Mendes on the season, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I believe his completion percentages is in the 40s. So he's had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, now 3 interceptions, so it's all even, interceptions and touchdowns. Football is going to be marked at the 26-yard line of Mainland. Taking the snap back is Dolan. Gives off. Turning the corner is at Hubbard or Hood. Or Nelson. Let's see when he gets up. That was Hood on the carry.
Now, last week, Hood had fumbled on back-to-back plays. I asked him, I said, what's up with the fumbles? He said, I had these gloves on. I had to take the gloves off, no more fumbles after that. So I was going to say, you know, you could see him fumbling the football in this spot too, in the way that Mainland's been attacking on defense.
Picks up a first down. Ball inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. The give again goes to Hood. He is corralled before he has any place to go through. Triple team by Mainland. He really had no place to go whatsoever. Was looking for a hole, but just couldn't find it.
Yeah, Velez in there again, and he's been a big linebacker for Mainland. He's done a really good job.
Splitting fire out to the right side now as an end. Nelson is hustling off the field as Sands checks in. Second down and 10 from inside the 15-yard line. At the 14-yard line, Shiner splits fire out to the left. Hood in the slot to the left side. Hood in motion to the right side. Hood gets the call, looking to sweep the right side. Makes the turn upfield. He's at the 5, and he leans forward. Did he break the plane? That's the question. He did, to the touchdown.
You know, David Hood's one of the D1 players in this league, and when you see those players, you can tell they make a difference. Last week, we said really the difference between Absegami and Middle was Absegami had Hood and Middle did not. And that was evident because 211 yards, 3 touchdowns later, you could see clearly who the best player on the field was, and he showed it with that run right there.
So Will Sands now will look to add the 7th point. 14-yard run by David Hood, headed to Temple next year. Teams are lined up and set. Ball snap, plays down, booted, high enough, deep enough, and it is good.
Just think if they would have done that the last couple times, they'd have a 10, 13, or 16-7 lead in this one.
They do convert here. 6:50 left in the first half of play. It's 7-0 Absegami. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're paying top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com. Signal Graphics on Tilton Road in Egg Harbor Township is your local commercial printer with a personal service you expect. Cut out the middleman. Save time, save money. Signal Graphics prints full color in-house. Signal's state-of-the-art equipment and expert printing staff allows them to produce an excellent. So it is 7-7 now. 6:50 left here in this first half of play. 70-yard touchdown pass and catch by Mainland, and now the 14-yard run by Hood. So Absegami will kick the football off. Will Sands to do the honors. Justin Walsh back there. Low kick taken by one of the up people at the 19-yard line. Cuts to his right, and he's going to be dumped at the 24-yard line. Brandon Williams came up to make the stop.
Over on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, where Middle Township's Ymir McNeil has 7 carries, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and they're just midway through the second quarter in that one. So Middle, you know, we saw them last week, and McNeil had a really good game in that one. It looks like he is certainly one of the better backs in the Cape Atlantic League.
Well, their coach at Middle really likes him. He compares him to Brian Westbrook. So Mendish in the pistol. Takes the snap. Gives off to Walsh. Off right guard, has room, but then it closes quickly across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
And in there to make the stop is Henchy. We've been calling his name a lot on the excuse me, on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. McNeil, we just mentioned, 67-yard touchdown run. Middle leads Pleasantville 21-0.
So 6:20 left here in this first half of play. We're all knotted at 7. Mainland breaks and comes out. Send Brennan far out to the left side. Mendish takes the snap. The option as he pitches it back to Walsh. Walsh catches the football. Fortunate to do so as it was thrown in back of him, but he's going to be thrown for a loss. That was a tough pitch there from Mendish.
And Absegami, again, I mean, their defense is really been the tone setter and kept them around in this game and allowed them to tie it up at 7-7. And of course, you know, now you get Mainland in a 2nd and long situation. And the last time they threw the football, not good results.
So Mainland breaks and comes out. Slot formation to the right side. Peeling off to the left side in motion is Walsh. Back to pass is Mendes. Throws deep down the left sideline, and this one is overthrown at the midfield line. But in reality, even if he caught it, he probably would have been out of bounds. Justin Walsh, the intended receiver, coming out of the backfield.
Don't forget a halftime show with Tyler Donahue in studio with the latest score, stats, and highlights. That's Tyler Donahue getting you ready for all the games that are going on tonight. We got a big schedule of events going on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, Tyler will be back tomorrow morning with a recap of everything. And you can check in with the South Jersey Sports Report. You'll have Kevin Minnick with the West Jersey League Football Report at 9:30, and Mike McGarry at 10:30 with the report on everything that happened here tonight.
Giuliano to kick from his own 12-yard line. It's short, and it's end over end. It bounces down at the 43-yard line, and Mainland holds it right there, and it'll be Absegami again. Mike, this is what we've been talking about. I mean, as you said, without the penalties, it could be a lot worse for Mainland. But again, at the 42-yard line of Mainland, I mean, those kinds of field position is really tough on the defense. They played well, especially in their red zone, defending the red zone, but it's tough, Mike.
Well, and if they can get moving on offense, you saw Hood. Last week he got off to a slow start. It was 12-7 at halftime for Absegami. It wasn't really to that second half when David Hood, you know, unleashed the beast, if you will, on Middle Township. It was, you know, it was actually 12-0 with 50 seconds left in the half. When Middle scored that touchdown, they scored with 10 seconds left to go. Otherwise, Absegami really dominated the game.
Wing right formation. Sands on the wing to the right side. In motion to the right side is Hood. Hood gets the call. Now the inside reverse, this time to Hubbard, but doesn't work nearly as well as it did with the reverse action, as Hubbard has stood up right at the line of scrimmage. May have lost a half a yard.
Michael Velez with a 2-point takedown there. Then he spun around there and got a couple more points, making the tackle.
Actually a 2-yard loss for Hubbard. So when Hubbard handed it to Hood, big play. Not so the other way around.
Now you notice the cheerleaders' uniforms there, Tony? The green that they have?
Yes.
As opposed to the football team's uniform, the green that they have?
That's what
you got the inside scoop on that.
Yes, that's what happens when you win a contest. So Dolan, looking at his wrist, takes the snap, sets, good protection, fires to the right side. It's complete. It's complete. It looks like to Williams, who spins away from the initial tackle. Sorry, it was completed to Hubbard inside the 40-yard line to the 39-yard line. So that'll bring up a third, and we'll call it a long 6.
Now, the inside information we were clued in on was that Under Armour, who sponsored this tournament, this contest that Mainland won, doesn't make Mustang green. They had to create a new green, and that's why the uniforms are a different color than the cheerleaders' uniforms.
And we want to
cheerleaders didn't get new Under Armour uniforms.
We want to thank Under Armour, because it's easy to read those numbers. Sure it is. Throwing over the middle is Hubbard. It's complete at the 29-yard line to David Hood. Very nice
Under
pass.
Armour, the numbers are not easy to read.
Exactly. Just being sorry.
They're nice uniforms, but they are tough. The black numbers on the forest green is not an easy read.
Well, they tried to.
They tried it with the white outline. Thank you very much.
So it's first down at the 29-yard line. In motion to the right side is Hood. Gets the call again. Makes the turn upfield. Now cuts to his right. He's got 5 yards to the 25-yard line before he's knocked down. Hood, as he goes along, Mike, he's one of these runners who kind of just looks, sees where the blocking is, and then makes a decision to cut it upfield. But he doesn't rush things. He lets his blockers do their thing.
And he's another guy going. He's going to Temple. You know, Division I guy. He's got that speed. And Dennis Scuderi said when he actually, you know, kind of grows into himself, that he's going to even be a better player.
Yeah, he's 6 feet 190. He doesn't look quite that big, but he's very solid. Here's Dolan rolling to his right under pressure. He sets, throws deep down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. Double teamed in the end zone. Now they're saying touchdown. It is off the deflection.
What happened was there was two Mustangs. The guy from Absegami, who will get his name in a moment if we can see him on that side of the field, went up. It was almost like a Hail Mary pass. And he hit the ground, and the two Mustangs, the ball went right down to him.
Like it might have been Nelson. They're all jumping up and doing their thing on the sideline. Wow, what a play. That's a highlight reel right there.
We got the video to send to Sports Center.
Why not? So Sands will kick it again. Teams are lined up and set. Snap, placed down, booted, and it is good. So now 2:45 left here in this first half of play. Absegami has scored back-to-back, and they take the 14-7 lead. Well, there's a full line of brand new cars available for rent at Just 4 Wheels in the White Horse Pike in Absecon, Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood, Route 50 in Mays Landing, and Harry Egan 16th and Simpson in Ocean City. They also have conversion vans, trucks, minivans, and 15-passenger vans. Be smart. Rent at Just 4 Wheels, serving South Jersey for more than 25 years. In Absecon, Wildwood, Mays Landing, Ocean City, Berlin, Lakewood, and Brooklyn, New York. They're open from 8:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. daily. That's Just 4 Wheels. For 40 years, Capri Pizza and Grill has been your favorite pizzeria. And now with the new location, they're improved on everything that made them the best. You'll remember them from the Shore Mall. Come see owner Rocco at Capri's new location, 900 Tilton Road, Northfield. Capri is the home of the world's best pizza. Come see Ron, Capri Pizza and Grill, 900 Tilton Road, Northfield. Rocco's there now. Why aren't you?
Rocco makes a heck of a slice.
Absolutely.
I'd be there, Rocco, if I wasn't here. That's a promise. By the way, Maurice Hubbard with the touchdown catch there. Saw it on the video replay over at 97.3 ESPN.com.
There's the kick by Sands. It's taken by Walsh at the 15-yard line. He's up the middle across the 30. Keeps driving to the 35-yard line. So the Mustangs will have relatively good field position as Walsh able to return it to the 35-yard line. I mean, they've been starting from deep in their own territory inside the 20 for most of this first half.
Yeah, and Mainland so far offensively has not been very impressive. Even though they have the 170-yard touchdown, that's been the extent of their offense, really.
Slot formation to the left side. Mindish takes the snap. Mindish rolling to his left. Mindish fires. It's complete at the 42-yard line and knocked down at the 44.
Harry Cottrell with the catch there, and there finally a nice pitch and catch was an opening where he got to catch the ball, tuck it, and then get up the field.
A designed roll for Mindish to the left side, able to set his feet and then find Cottrell for a 9-yard advance. So 2nd and 2nd and 1. Slot formation to the right side. Mindish takes the snap. Walsh gets the call. Off left guard. Breaks out in the clear. Across the midfield line. Fumbles the football. It's loose. And let's see who's got it.
Looked like Will Sands popped up with it for Absegami. He's the guy who's dancing around with the football, but no indication yet from the officials. And it looks like Absegami thought they had it, but that's not the case. Big run there.
Yeah, it's a first down for Mainland, and it was a very nice run. Probably their most effective run of this football game. Right up the middle.
Yeah, and we'll try to take a look on the replay here over at 97.3 ESPN.com on what happened on the fumble. As, yeah, he looked like he was down.
Slot formation to the right side. Cottrell split to the right side. Here's Mindish. Mindish rolling this time to the right. Throws on the run, and this one's complete again to Cottrell at the 39-yard line, and he's bumped out of bounds right around the 35.
That one might have been an actual fumble. I don't think that they're going to call it, but he lost the ball before he went down. And there is a Mustang. It looks like Cottrell. He's hurt. He is writhing in pain on the sideline. You just see him down there. He's off the field, but he made that catch, and I think he lost the football because he was injured.
But they did not call it.
on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Buna 34-0. I'm watching the video over at 97.3 ESPN, and he did lose the football. That was a fumble.
The give goes off left tackle, making the carry is Vitale. And he picks up a nice gain on first down.
By the way, on that Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Tony, it's Buna 34, Lower nothing.
Timeout called on the field after the first down run, pardon me. They put the clock back in motion now as they reset the sticks. Here's the snap to Mindish, rolling to his right. This one is complete, just complete. Makes the catch at the 20-yard line, and he's ripped out of bounds inside the 20 at the 11-yard line.
James Brennan makes the stop to the catch. He came in there as Cottrell is now sitting on the bench, so Brennan jumping up now into the game at that Cottrell receiver spot. So they're down a receiver, it looks like, who Harry Cottrell's a senior, and he was a big part of this drive so far with 2 catches.
Brennan splitting out to the left side. Edmonds is in the slot to the left side. The ball actually marked at the 16-yard line, pardon me. And here's Mindish. Off play action, throws this one up into the left corner of the end zone and incomplete. Looked like the intended receiver was Brennan, but that one again floated a little bit.
Tyler Welsh in the coverage. Yeah, Brennan was the guy who was looking for there in the corner, but Welsh was right there with him and he overthrew him.
So now 3rd and 4.
Under a minute to play here in the half.
Mustangs at the line of scrimmage at the 16-yard line. Brennan split to the right side. Taking the snap back. Quick pitch to the right side is complete, but does not pick up the first down. He's rammed out of bounds as soon as he catches the football.
Right. Yeah, Bryce Edmonds made the catch there, and you're right. He caught it and couldn't get up the field if they make the play right initially. They try to get it out into space there and to let him kind of go one-on-one, as Edmonds is one of their, good athletes back there playing wide receiver.
So just as Absegami, Mainland is going to go for it here as well. They trail it 14-7 with just 48 seconds left in this first half of play. At the 15-yard line, Mindish giving off left tackle, getting the call as Vitale, but he goes nowhere, and Absegami is held once again.
Jacob Steer is the guy. He ran right into him, and he's 6'3", 285 pounds. And he stood up Vitale, who is 5'9", 180 pounds, so almost 105 pounds discrepancy in weight there. Vitale wasn't running any further forward. Normally, that's odd for Mainland, because typically in years past, you would see them kick a field goal.
No question about it. They've had great field goal kickers over the years, and also a little, I don't know, as good as they have been defensively, especially against the run, Mike, to run it right up the gut on a 4th down and 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Tough. Taking the snap back is Dolan. Gives off to Hood. Slanting to his right. He's got first down and more as he continues across the 30 to the 35-yard line, and he's run out of bounds. Hood, again, just weaving his way, finding the opening, and picks up a big gainer on first down.
Yeah, and he last week picked up a lot of those 200 yards in the second half of that game against Middle, and he picked up a big chunk, Tony, but they only have 35 seconds left here.
Well, now that they've gotten out of deep in their own territory, they may be willing to throw it up here. Let's see. Ball's at the 33-yard line. Dolan with the snap. Sets. Good protection. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Hubbard at the 45-yard line of Mainland. So off the incompletion, the clock stops with 31.9 remaining until halftime.
Both teams have all their timeouts left too, so if they can get a big play here on this second down, you would think Absegami might want to call a timeout. If not, maybe they go into halftime content with the 14-7 game here. Although, talking to Dennis Scuderi last week, he said, I want to score as many times as I can.
Something that might work here because Mainland knows they're going to have to pass the football. Screen may work. They can get him to rush the passer. And
they ran it well last week, too, to Hood. They ran a long one.
Here's Dolan. He keeps it himself. He's straight up the middle. Dolan to the 39-yard line. And let's see if they call their first time out here.
Quinn Vitale in there helping out, making the stop.
Does not appear they're calling a timeout, so they are content to be up 14-7, it appears, with just 10 seconds left here in this first half of play. They do not call the timeout. They're actually walking off the field. Both teams start walking off the field. And that is going to do it for the first half of play. So at the end of one half, Absegami leads it 14-7 as they have pretty much dominated the first half of play. We like the way they do business at the Thomas H. Heist Insurance Agency, their coastal insurance specialist with over.
Absegami, you're only up 14-7. We just mentioned you could be up more. I would assume that even with the lead, that was not a happy Dennis Scuderi Jr.
Oh, no, you just can't commit those kind of penalties, especially when you're down there in the red zone twice. I mean, a great return of a kickoff by Hood gets them right down there to about the 5-yard line. They were unable to cash in. They've marched the football down to Mainland territory, red zone territory a couple more times. Could not come away with anything, but their defense really, Mike, is the key to this football game. They have played outstanding football as the Brave defense. They really have not given Mainland much of anything except for that one big play, the 70-yard hookup from Mindish to Dean DeVetti. So Absegami will be kicking it away, and I guess this first series for Mainland will really go a long way to seeing if they have solved that Absegami defense more than they had in the first half.
The Mustangs will start with the football when we start this third quarter. And, of course, Absegami will be kicking off, and they'll be moving. Mainland will be from right to left as we get ready to start the third quarter.
And the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Check out their online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. So we're just about set for the second half kickoff. Will Sands will be kicking it away. Walsh is back deep. (14-7). The Braves of Absegami on top. Waiting the second half whistle. Here comes Sands. End over end kick. It bounces down at the 25-yard line. It's loose on the floor, and they're just going to, that's the turf, pardon me, and they're just going to fall on it at about the 20-yard line. They couldn't really decide who was going to pick it up, and then they just fell on it.
Not a great start for Mainland, and they haven't had a lot of great things happen for them, but they did have the one big play where DeVetti caught the ball around the 45-yard line and took off for a 70-yard touchdown pass, and that's been really the extent of the Mainland offense. They haven't run the ball exceptionally well, and they haven't thrown it really well. We'll see if they can get in a rhythm here in the second half.
Ball marked at the 21-yard line. And the pistol. Taking the snap back is Mindish, gives off to Walsh, looking to slice off. Left tackle breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, keeps the legs driving and able to move forward to the 25-yard line, and that was all Justin Walsh right there.
Ryan Kurz made the stop for Absegami.
He was hit right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like it would be shut down for no gain, but he was able to pull free of the tackle and picked up some 4 yards.
Mainland did move the ball pretty well that last drive they had the football on the ground.
Slot formation to the right side. Mindish takes the snap. A quick pitch to the right side. Gets a block. Looking to drive upfield and then a marker down.
Bryce Edmonds caught the football, but really, as you mentioned, he didn't have a lot of place to go once he caught it. They're having a real problem, you know, they're trying to get their playmakers in space and have them go one-on-one and make plays. That hasn't been the case here. Absegami's a little bit more athletic than they are, but there's a penalty on the play too, and it looks like that's going to be a hold.
That'll cost them 10 yards, so again, Mainland able to get something going, picking up 5 yards on first down, but now they're being moved back deep into their own territory off the holding call. And they're going to place it down at the 16-yard line. They need the 31 to pick up a first. So the Mustangs have their work cut out for them. They trail at 14-7. 2nd and 14. Slot formation to the left side. wing right formation as Mendish in the pistol takes the snap. Off play action, back to pass, looking to throw the slant at the 26-yard line, but that is incomplete. Is that Brennan on the intended receiver?
Yeah, it was short, and he had him open. It just, he bounced it up there. He threw it short. And Mendish just had a tough night throwing the football. It's funny, you watch Mainland over the years, they have gone from a power I team to a Delaware wing T team to a spread team to this pistol offense. I mean, they have really morphed a variety of offenses over the years that Bob Coffey's been here.
Well, I guess Coach Coffey tries to take his talent, see what he's got, and then designs the offense. This one's floated up in the air. Just threw that one up for grabs, did Mendish. Fortunately for him, it was intended for Edmonds at around the 35, but it fell incomplete. That one was really, Mike, just thrown up there.
Yeah, it went out of bounds. It went into Mainland's bench over there. The closest person to the football was Tyler Welsh, who's already had an interception in this game.
So now again, a punting situation for Mainland.
You see Harry Cottrell, by the way, the receiver for Mainland, had 2 catches. He's sitting on the bench over here. Looks like he's done for the night. He's got his leg all wrapped up in ice. So I would assume Cottrell, one of the offensive weapons for Mainland, is done.
Michael Giuliano to kick it away. Shiner and Hubbard in twin safeties. This one's a very nice kick coming down at the 48-yard line. Hubbard is going to snare it at his own 48. Starts to his right, now cuts to his left, crosses the midfield line, and he's dumped at the 48-yard line of Mainland. But again, Mike, when you start out in what they call plus territory, the other team's territory at the 48-yard line, just makes it so tough on that defense, and that's exactly where Absegami will start out. But of course, that's in total part to the defense played by Absegami.
Yeah, Gami's defense has been the star of the show so far tonight. Their offense has moved the ball very well as well. However, they have too many penalties, and the execution has not been consistent, and that's why they only lead by 7.
So this is a key series for the Mainland defense. Their offense have been sputtering all night, and they don't want to fall behind by 2 touchdowns. Shiner splits to the right. Williams in the slot to the right side. Hood on the wing to the right side. Empty backfield for Dolan. Takes the snap. Inside counter to Hood. Cuts outside. Makes the turn upfield. Continues inside the 45 to the 42-yard line. On that play, Mike, you saw him dip inside. Didn't see anything there, then took it to the outside. And a big gain on first down.
Bryce Edmonds making the stop for Mainland, and he's one of the corners. Yeah, Hood gets going. He's really tough to bring down. You need a couple guys to bring him down. He is one of the better ones you'll see in the Cape Atlantic League.
Pickup of 5. It's 2nd and 5 from the 42 of Mainland. The snap to Dolan. Gives off. Slanting off right tackle is Hood. Gets a block. Pulls away from one tackler. Now reverses the field. He has room along the left sideline inside the 30. Continues to the 10-yard line. He's going to take it the distance for a touchdown. There's a marker down.
And the flag is thrown, Tony, way back on like the 30-yard line. And that means that ball was about 25 yards ahead of wherever that flag came in. That must have been a personal foul way out of the play that Absegami seems to be furious about.
As is Dennis Scuderi, because as you said, Mike, there really was no purpose to do anything 30 yards away from where Hood was running. He was going in for the touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul. Let's see. Holding. Why would you hold?
You would ask, why would you hold? You would almost ask, why would you even throw that penalty there? I mean, it was literally 25 yards out of the play. That had nothing to do with the play. Hood is almost skating into the end zone as that flag is thrown 30 yards away. And to me, I'm watching it wasn't a blatant, it didn't seem like it was a blatant hold there. I don't know if I agree with that call.
I mean, the person who was held, as Mike just told you, was 25 or 30 yards away from Hood, who was running it in for the touchdown. So no effect whatsoever on the play. So I guess when you look at it in technical terms, if it's a penalty, it's a penalty. But as you said, had no effect whatsoever on the play.
Big, huge break for Mainland, because that was going to be a score for Absegami.
But they're bringing the sticks out because on the holding, Mike, they're going to mark it off, or they marked it off from where the penalty occurred, so they still may have a first down. They do.
Right, the hold occurred even 10 yards past the line of scrimmage down the field. So here's a play that had already gained 20 yards. He breaks it back to the other side, then runs towards the end zone, and the hold occurred 20 yards down the field and 25 yards away from where the touchdown run was.
Crazy game, lots of penalties, and now looking over at the sidelines and holding his hands out to his side is the quarterback, Dolan. He's now got the play, looks at his wrist. 14-7, the Braves are up with the football. Taking the snap is Dolan. Dolan fakes to Hubbard, keeps it himself, and he's going nowhere. May have lost a couple yards. Back to the 40-yard line. He did lose at least one.
Quinn Vitale in there to make the stop. He was one of the first guys to be there, but 3 Mustangs right on top of Dolan.
Loss of 2 yards for Absegami. Quickly at the line of scrimmage, they send Shiner to the left side. Split out to the left. To the right is Williams. In the slot to the left side is Hood. Sands in the backfield, along with Dolan. Back to pass Dolan, great protection, fires to the left side. Great catch there by Shiner as he leaned back toward the football to corral it.
Austin Shiner, made the catch in the slot there, but he had to go to the ground to make the catch. And once you hit the ground in high school football, you cannot get back up. So he got, could have had a better opportunity to get up the field if the throw was a little higher.
6-yard advance. It's now 3rd and 6. Rolling right is Dolan. Fires on the run. This one's complete. He's got the first down, does Hood, inside the 20, and then he's thrown down at around the 19-yard line.
Pressure came on that play from Michael Bell, but he was just late to get there. What a nice pitch and catch from Dolan and Hood, and they get another first down.
Ball marked at the 19-yard line. Slot formation to the left side. Hubbard is split to the right, now in motion to the left side. Gets the call. Does Hubbard. Cuts inside left tackle. Keeps his legs driving. Picks up 2, maybe 3 yards before he's dumped.
Looks like Bell was there, you can see, and that wasn't going to be good enough to get him down, so he needed some help there, but he was swinging him around by the jersey there.
An advance of 2 yards by Hubbard. 2nd down and 8. Ball marked at the 17-yard line. Sands on the wing to the right side. Hubbard is on the right wing. Slot formation to the left side. In motion is Hood, and again he gets the call, but we have another marker and again a legal procedure against Absegami.
Really sloppy game for the Braves tonight. And they still lead the game. And it seems like you take the penalties out, they've dominated. But of course, the penalties are a big part of this game, and that's why the score is where it is, 14-7, with 7:52 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Don't forget, you can watch the live video of this game streaming at 973ESPN.com. That's thanks to Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliance. Every week, our game of the week is streaming video online at 973ESPN.com. You can see all the live HD video right there on our website.
I'll bet you if you took out those penalties and you looked at the time of possession, wouldn't even be in the same neighborhood. Absegami is dominated, but they only lead at 14-7. Back to pass Dolan. Being rushed. Rolls to his left. Now let's fly. It's complete along the left sideline. And spinning away inside the 25-yard line to the 21-yard line. See who made the catch.
Hood made the catch. The fact that he even made the catch is unbelievable. He caught the ball with one hand, spun one way, and then went the opposite way, got up the field somehow and got positive yardage on that. It looked like Dolan, the quarterback, was a little slow getting up.
Yeah, he was, Mike, but don't forget to give credit to Dolan because he was really in the grasp of a defender from Mainland and then just flicked it with his wrist and able to get it out there to Hood.
Hood caught it. He turned into the middle of the field and then turned back outside and went right up the sideline there as we look at the live video for the replay at 973ESPN.com.
3rd and 9. Back to passes Dolan. Rolling to his right. Dolan being chased. Fires on the run, and this one is complete at the 5-yard line, inside the 5 to the 2-yard line, off his fingertips, right on his fingertips. The catch was made.
I think that was Hood making the catch, and he's just a weapon in the backfield. He's a weapon out of the backfield catching the football too. And again, Last week, Absegami won because they had Hood. They're winning now because they have Hood.
So 1st and goal. Ball at, we'll call it the 3-yard line, and Hood is in the slot to the left side. In motion to the left is Hubbard. Keeping it is Dolan, and Dolan is knocked down, cut down in the backfield for a loss.
Nice cut down right there. Michael Fuca recognized it very well.
So off the loss, the ball is moved back to the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 6. Sands in the backfield with Dolan, also Hubbard there in the backfield. Kind of a different looking formation here as Hubbard lines up in back of Dolan. Hubbard gets the call straight up the middle to the goal line. No call yet, so he did not get in. At the 1-yard line, he's brought down.
Nick Drobinek helped make the stop right at the front of the goal line here. We've seen Absegami have to go for on 4th and goal a couple times tonight.
So this is 3rd and goal. And Dolan does have a little bit of a limp as we see him come back from the sideline, but not affecting his play. Williams splits far out to the left side, about as far as you can go without being off the field. Here's Dolan giving off to Hubbard again. Off left tackle to the goal line, and he is in for the touchdown.
Reese Hubbard off the left guard there. Nick Lyon and Duke Becker on the left side pushing the Mustang defense forward, and they went right over the left side for an easy score. And it looks like Absegami has wrestled control of this game. They have scored 21 unanswered.
They really have controlled the game right from the outset. Timeout on the field for an injured player. Looks like a Mustang player is down. We'll get you his number in just a moment. It is now 20-7. Vic's Sub Shop, 742 Ohio Avenue in Absecon, offers great quality and friendly service at all sandwiches available for pickup or delivery. Phone 645-0500. Vic's is open 7 days a week until 8 p.m. on weeknights, 9:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You can also visit Vic's Sub Shop on Zion Road in Egg Harbor Township. Be sure to try Vic's Special. That's a sub piled high with their special assortment of fresh meats and cheeses. Vic's Sub Shop, Ohio Avenue in Absecon. So the extra point upcoming. Will Sands again will attempt. Teams are lined up and set. Ball snap, placed down and booted, and it is good. 5:49 left in this 3rd quarter of play. Absegami now leads it by the score of 21-7. Under the Flood Insurance Reform Act of 2012, you could save more than $90,000 over 10 years if you build 3 feet above base flood elevation. The all-star staff at Baumgardner House Lifting can attend to all of your house raising needs. The Baumgardner family has 65 years of combined experience in general construction. Visit BaumgardnerHouselifting.com. or call toll-free at 855-324-2700. Baumgardner House Lifting, restoring the Jersey Shore one home at a time. So Absegami, despite that strange call of holding that we experienced on that great run by Hood, still able to punch it in.
Got some scores going on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Oakcrest 7, Cedar Creek 7, and Buna leading lower 41-0 in that game. A couple other scores around the area. Barnegat 24, Monsignor Donovan 12, and Bishop Eustis 7-0 over Cumberland. Mainland trailing St. Augustine 28-7 at the end of 3 at Mainland tonight.
So Mainland to get the football back one more time. Will Sands will kick it away. Mustangs now, uphill battle, down 21-7. End over end, short kick, bounces down at the 35-yard line, picked up straight up the middle across the 40-yard line and to the 45-yard line. The Mustangs will open for business in their best field position of the evening.
Another big score on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Cherokee is leading Williamstown 10-6 late in the 3rd. A lot of penalties in that game. The Cherokee defense has been very good. And we're going to be at Williamstown in a couple of weeks when Eastern goes to Williamstown. But right now, they are trailing in that game to Cherokee, and that would be an upset. Middle Township 28-7 over Pleasantville at the end of 3.
Whistles sound. Now the play is put back in. So the Mustangs with the football at their own 45-yard line, trailing 21-7. Mindish takes the snap. Mindish gets off the walls. He's grabbed right at the line of scrimmage and may have leaned forward for a yard. But again, Absegami, there's just no really running room there for the running backs from Mainland.
Ryan Kerr's in there. Of course, Abdullah, we've called his name a bunch.
They give him a yard.
Anderson, I should say.
They give him a yard, so it's 2nd down and 9 from the 46-yard line.
Mainland, used that pop pass over the middle to the tight end there. He had the 70-yard touchdown. That was Devaney. We'll see if they can maybe get him involved over the middle.
Brennan split left, Edmonds in the slot left, off play action, back to pass. Mindish just throws it up for grabs, and Welsh is the closest man to it. Again, he really was kind of backpedaling as he threw that pass.
He had a man, Brennan, open here. He was just kind of, hey, I'm here, I'm open, but it looked like Mindish rather had taken the bigger shot down the field instead of the safer shot.
Yeah, I mean, there were 2 defenders for Absegami who really had the best shot at the football. He overthrew them as well. So now 3rd and 9.
Now Mindish is a senior, John Tyler Mindish, and the backup quarterback is Sam Jackson, who is a sophomore.
Brennan splits to the left side. Rolling left, looking to throw is Mindish. Fires over the middle, and this one is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Gannard at the 34-yard line. That receiver, the intended receiver, was really triple teamed. He was bracketed. They had him in front and a couple of defenders on either side.
You see Mindish taking a seat on the bench. He's all by himself. He's got the hands, over top the helmet there. He doesn't have a lot of support of the team right now. He's just kind of taking that one hard. And there's a situation, though, Tony, where he had a little opening there, and he chose to stay back. He could have taken a couple steps up into that pocket and really made that a shorter throw. He ended up making it such a long throw that he allowed Gannard to get back into defensive position.
So here we go again. Gannard is a 5'11", 175-pound senior, plays safety, and really had great position on the play.
This is kind of the way this game went last week for Absegami. They were close at half, and then they just kind of put together a couple nice drives in the 3rd quarter.
Hood in motion to the left side, gets the handoff, breaks free, cuts upfield across the 40, knocked out at the 44-yard line on a 1st down.
Tackle's finally made by Justin Walsh, and he made a saver because Hood, man, if he jumped through that tackle, he's got the speed to be able to really separate himself from the defenders. He's really good at it.
Very quick. I mean, he can take his one gear and shift to the next one very quickly. Amen splits out to the right side. Slot formation to the left side. Taking the snap back is Dolan, gives off to Sands, and he is belted just as he gets the football, losing 3 at least.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Lenape 21, Washington Township 19. That one is in the 3rd quarter. Keep you up to date from scores all over South Jersey, both the Cape Atlantic League, the West Jersey Football League, and of course the Shore Conference, as those scores come to us as well.
Slot formation again to the left side. Split right is Ahmed. Sands in the backfield along with Dolan. Dolan takes the snap. Being rushed. Evades the run. Rush that is. Rolls to his right. Now fires and completes to Ahmed at the 42-yard line of Mainland. Again, Dolan with that great pocket presence felt the rush.
Very calm. He threw that, and I'll tell you what, Ahmed caught it very calmly. Just boom, caught it, got up the field. Really nice pitch and catch there by Absegami, and their offense is starting to roll here.
Coach Coffey said the quarterback, Dolan, really concerned him because of his ability to do just what he did right there. Slot formation to the left side. Again, Ahmed split to the right. Hubbard on the wing to the right side. The snap to Dolan. Dolan back to pass. Fires a quick pitch to the right side. Let's see if he caught it. He did at the 39-yard line of Absegami. Again, Ahmed really starting to make his presence felt here on the reception.
Over on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, St. Augustine 28-7. R.J. D'Amico just intercepted a pass for the Prep as Vineland is getting their drive stalled. They were kind of in that game, and then an interception by D'Amico just kind of squashed the Klan offensive drive. Those scores courtesy of the Daily Journal.
There's Dolan. 2nd and 6 in motion to the left side is Williams. To give up the middle on the counter play to Hood. Breaks a tackle, cuts inside. He's still on his feet. He's inside the 25-yard line, and he's knocked down at the 22-yard line. Very quick.
Man among boys out there. Man among boys. He put the brakes on. Boom. Right foot, digs it right into the ground, has the Mainland defense run past him, and then he goes, bounces it out to the left side. That's a Division I running back right there going against, well, kids that might not be playing college football.
When he makes the decision to make a cut and then change direction, he just does it with such authority. First down. Taking the snap is Dolan. The give to Nelson, looking to sweep the right side. Nelson makes the turn upfield. Nelson cuts back. He breaks a tackle. He's inside the 10-yard line, and he's knocked down just about at the 5-yard line. An outstanding run there by Nelson. Looked to be cornered, but able to fight his way through traffic and pick up a nice gain on another first down.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Pennsville 56 and Wildwood 14. That's a final thanks to Ryan Kniff at CMC Sports.
So Absegami now 1st and goal from the 5-yard line at a timeout on the field.
And on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Bridgeton 31-0 over Ocean City. A lot of people think Bridgeton could be the best team in the National Conference. And the Hermits are on the board. Lamont Harris, a 36-yard touchdown. They lead 35-7 over Vineland. That score courtesy of the Daily Journal.
Dolan takes the snap, gives off to Hubbard as he's in motion to the left side. He makes the turn upfield, goes to the goal line, and he is. The team
thinks they're in.
But the officials do not concur, so the ball's going to be placed out about the 1-foot line. At the line of scrimmage already is Absegami, and Dolan's going to duck in here and take it himself straight forward, and he goes in for the touchdown.
Not much push for Mainland there. It's almost as if Absegami said, all right, line it back up. We're just going to snap it and score here.
Dolan just took the snap and straight forward, 1 yard out, and another touchdown for Absegami. They now lead at 27-7.
Couple more scores coming in. A final Buna 41-6 over Lower Cape May. Shalleck 19, Highland 13 at the end of 3. And after 3, Hamilton 34-0 over Egg Harbor Township.
So Absegami now looking to add the extra point. Dolan is on the sideline, and he is the holder. So he's hustling back onto the field with the tee, which they can use in high school for the extra point. Teams are lined up and set. Snap, placed down and booted. This one's kicked off to the left. This one will be no good. So 1:45 left in the 3rd quarter of play. Absegami extends to a 27-7 lead. Where have you ever dreamt about mountains of
is back in the studio with producer Pete Giordano. I think they're in the middle of a Breaking Bad marathon right now. While we're doing all the work out here, they got their feet up, compiling scores and highlights for the post-game show, taking you until 10 o'clock tonight on 97.3. And we've got scores continuing to come in all over South Jersey right here on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard.
Here's Sands with a kickoff taken by one of the up people of the 27-yard line, straight up the middle across the 40 to the 45-yard line. And again, Mike, they start their drive, and again, excellent field position. They just have not been able to do anything with it, and now they're really facing an uphill battle, down 27-7 with just 1:40 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, and Mainland has not shown that they can really throw the football effectively, consistently. They've made a couple big plays. I think Mindish has had a couple bad decisions here that has cost him a couple picks.
At the 45-yard line, Mindish takes the snap back, gives off to Walsh. Walsh breaks the tackle, continues driving to the 50-yard line, midfield line, and we're calling out that name again. Christian Henchy grabs him by the jersey and brings him down.
Yeah, and he's a middle linebacker. You know, he's one of those solid seniors, 6'2", 220 pounds. You know, really does a great job of getting off the blocks because he's such a big kid. You're 6'2", 220 playing middle linebacker at the high school level. That's a good size for that position.
No question. So an advance of, we'll call it 6 yards to the midfield line, just over the midfield line. 2nd and 4 for Mainland. In motion to the right side is Drabanek. The pass complete just for a yard gain before he's knocked down right where he caught it. Pick up maybe 2 yards.
Yeah, Drobanek caught it. It was pretty much greeted immediately.
So now 3rd and 3.
It's if Mainland wants to stay in this game, they got to convert this 3rd down here.
To say the exact same thing.
It's 4-down territory. They are in Absegami territory, and it is, a makeable 3rd down here. And if they don't get it, it would be a makeable 4th down.
Cottrell splits out to the left side. Taking the snap as Mindish gives off to Walsh. He's straight up the middle. I'm not sure that he got it. See where the officials running in from the sideline appear that he is going to be short of the 1st down. Not by much, though.
I don't know that I like that call, though. It's 3rd down. I know they're trying to be safe, but you're probably in 4-down territory. How about trying to get out to the outside a little bit there?
They call it a 1st down.
All right. Good spot there. But
no measurement.
Absegami has been very stout in the middle, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter.
So at the end of 3, Absegami extends their lead to 27-7. And we're set for quarter number 4 in just a moment. The Storage Inn is family-owned business started more than 3 decades ago. Quarter, here's Mike Gill.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Lenape 28, Washington Township 19. So some more scores coming in. Southern with a 35-0 lead in their game as well. Here it is 27-7 as Mainland has the football on 1st down. Complete over the middle, and it is going to be close to a 1st down as Mindish looks like he gets it off to Brennan. Brennan catches the ball right around the 35-yard line, and he's going to be just short of a 1st down. So it'll be 2nd down and about 2.
Those are, I think, his best passes, Mike, where he just gets the ball, looks over the middle, throws that quick slant. When he tries to float it up in the air, he's not that effective.
2nd and 2. Short of the 35. Mindish in a pistol. Hands off. And Walsh, crosses the 35-yard line. And it looks like Walsh has a 1st down. So the Mustangs are on the move. We're in the 4th quarter. 11:16 left to play in the game. Mustangs 1st down. They'll break the huddle.
Seawright makes the tackle for Absegami.
Splits 2 receivers to the far side of the field. Now they hand it to Walsh off left guard, and he has nowhere to go. Runs right into Jacob Steyer, the 285-pounder, and he took him, caught him, and threw him right to the ground.
Little hog tie action right there.
Be 2nd down and 10 for Mainland.
Probably the best drive we've seen the Mustangs have so far this evening as Mindish comes in from the sideline, gets the call from the coaches.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Pleasantville cuts into Middle's lead 28-13 with 6:58 left to go in that one. Here it's 27-7. Mainland trails with the football. Back to throw. Mindish looking, fires. He floats one into the end zone, and it is incomplete as the defender and the receiver both hit the deck. And there is a flag on the play way back around the line of scrimmage here, so it could be a holding call.
Yeah, Gennard, the defender on that play, really got just tangled up with the intended receiver. There really was no interference, but they are talking over what this is all about as far as the penalty marker is concerned.
And it looks like an illegal man down the field for Mainland.
Interesting call there. I mean, it wasn't a screen play or anything like that where you would anticipate a lineman to to get downfield. And, of course, Mindish wasn't running the football, so but that's the call.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, touchdown St. Augustine, a 45-yard touchdown pass to make it 42-7. And that one, Williamstown recovered a muff punt at the Cherokee 31, and they trailed 10-6 with just under 11 minutes left to go. So we'll keep our eye on Phil Anastasia's tweets as he's covering that game for the Philadelphia Inquirer.
So now it's moved back outside the 35-yard line to the 37-yard line. It's going to be second, we'll call it 16.
Second and 16 with 10-12 left to play in the game. Ball just outside the 35. Mainland breaks the huddle with twin receivers to the near side. A pistol formation. And they fake the Tyler. To Welsh. Mindich is going to keep it, and he gets out of bounds, and there's a flag thrown as they're going to get a personal foul. Christian Henschey, the man, he took a shot at Mindich as he was trying to get out of bounds there, so they'll move this one up 15 more, it looks like.
Yeah, Henschey was running toward Mindish, and just as he got to the sideline, he gave him a little shove out of bounds, and of course that's going to cost him 15 yards.
Very adamant with that call, is the official. Demonstrative call. So they're going to move it up 15 more, so Mainland's going to have some good field position here with a chance to score, but the time's running out. They got 10 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the football game.
Well, that's true, Mike. I mean, Absegami would just like to let Mainland, if they want to score, let them score, but also they want them to use up as much clock as possible.
Now they walk the ball inside the 15-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Ball at the 13. Mindich to throw over the middle. He's got a man, and it is almost intercepted, but a flag on the play. And the ball was intended for Deviney in the end zone. And he was bumped. It looked like it kind of got him like a little hip check there. And Deviney hit the turf. So it's a pass interference in the end zone, which is going to spot the football now on the 1-yard line.
I'm not sure how they. I think if they walk it off here at this high school, it's not a spot foul high school, so the ball is going to be moved to the 6-yard line. So it's a penalty, but not as severe as it would be in the pros.
First and goal at the 7. Walsh bounces to the outside, and down he goes. Hubbard makes a nice play. Shoestring tackle there as Walsh tried to bounce it to the outside. No place to go, and it's going to be 2nd down and goal.
He has very nice leg drive, does Walsh. You could see Hubbard got him down around the ankles and wouldn't let go, and then help came, but he was struggling to pull free, and he didn't get help. He might have done exactly that.
It seems that Mainland has had the same 5'9", 165-pound running back for like the last 10 years.
Well, Mooney, I think, he was probably the last decent-sized running back they've had.
In the pistol, Mindich, the throw. He pumps, he fires. He's got a man in the back of the end zone. He throws it way out of the back of the end zone for Brennan. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal now.
Tyler Welsh was defending on the play, but again, thrown way over everyone's head. When he throws the ball like that, Mike, he doesn't step into his throw. He always seems to be moving backward, and thus the ball floats not very accurate.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, it's a final now. 42-7, St. Augustine over Pleasantville. Bishop Eustace 10, Cumberland, Bishop Eustace 10, Cumberland nothing. That's a final as well. Here it is, 3rd and goal at the 6 for Mainland. Mindich in a pistol. Walsh in the backfield. He hands to Walsh. Walsh cuts it back up the middle, runs into his own lineman, and it looks like he is going to be short of the goal line, and we're going to have 4th down and about 1. He ran right into David Evans, the center.
But made a nice cutback to his right as he was driving for the goal line, and again,
enough for the 1st down.
Okay.
So 1st and goal at the 1. Mindich in a pistol. And there's a flag thrown on the far side of the field. And that's because Dennis Scuderi's on the field. I think they threw the flag at Dennis Scuderi because they literally threw the bag into the Mustangs' backfield.
They did.
I think he's got a point, though. It started off as first and goal. I don't think they could have made a first down. When I looked over and they gave him a first down, I think that's what Dennis Scuderi is saying. And a timeout is taken as we try to get this one under control. 27-7, Absegami leads Mainland. The Mustangs have the ball on the 1-yard line when high school football returns. 97.3 ESPN.
Boardwalk Honda invites you to check out their always up-to-date online inventory, ideal for doing research from the comfort of your own home or office. When you found the Honda models you like, visit Boardwalk Honda, 6807 Tilton Road in Egg Harbor Township, and take a test drive. The service you'll receive is a cut above. Brian Brumel's sales staff is professional yet highly approachable. You'll quickly understand why Boardwalk Honda has such an expansive base of loyal customers. Boardwalk Honda. Call toll-free at 877-472-6499.
I'm going to tell you what's going on in that Williamstown game. They have the ball 4th down and 1 on the Cherokee 11, and they are still trailing in that game 10-6. And if that would be the final score there, we would have a shakeup. In the online 25, Cherokee's number 6, Williamstown is number 2. Here's the play on first down as Mainland is in for a touchdown. They run it up the middle, and it is Justin Walsh with the touchdown run for Mainland to make it 27-13.
And Roman Rudisill had him right by the shoulder pads, but he just could not bring him down. And Walsh is strong, and he was able to fight his way into the end zone. Of course, they only had about a half a yard to go. So,
and Juliana's kick is up, and it is good. So, with 8:48 left, Mainland still hanging in there. Absegami set to receive the kickoff here from Mainland, who just got in on a Justin Walsh 1-yard touchdown plunge to make it 27-14 by Gil Tony Blum. 97.3 ESPN. Live video streaming at 973ESPN.com. Thanks to Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliance Service in Ocean City. So if you're leaving one of the games in the area tonight, you're looking for the scores and the highlights, that's coming up with the post-game show. A little short kick by Mainland, and they kick it high to Henchey, and Henchey catches the football. So Absegami's going to have good field position. I think they were trying to kick it to someone who they figured might have fumbled the ball had it be so high that they would not be used to catching the football. But Henchey, the tight end, is used to catching it, and he made a nice catch there.
And I think you're going to see a major dose of Mr. Hood and the other running backs for Absegami as they really want to keep that clock running. 8 minutes, 48 seconds left in the contest, so they just want to run out the clock. If they score, all the better.
Dolan in a shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Hood in the backfield. Dolan sends a man in motion, Nelson. He hands it to the motion man. Nelson trying to corner. Bananas to the backfield. Now he's going to come back to the near side. And he is corralled, but he's still on his feet. He makes a couple Mustangs miss, and now he gets back to around the line of scrimmage. So all that running, but he does get himself some positive yardage.
And he keeps that clock running and use up a whole bunch of clock on that run. Boy.
Back on the far side of the field, one of the Mustangs looks like he's got maybe a cramp or something.
Yeah, he's not on the deck. He's just bending over.
There was like 3 or 4 Mustangs who had him corralled, it looked like, and he found a way to get out of there. By the way, on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Timber Creek scores with 5 seconds left in the first half. They lead Cherry Hill West 33-21 at halftime. Timber Creek is number 5 in the online 25. Jogging to the sideline, big number 68 for Mainland is David Donovan. 2nd down and 11. for Mainland. Ball at the 33 yard, excuse me, for Absegami. Ball at the 33. Going to pass. Into the flat. Nelson catches around the 30, out to the 35, makes a man miss, up to around the 40, and he goes down short of the 40-yard line. Nice one-on-one tackle there by Edmonds.
But he did pick up 5 yards, and with a completion, it continues the clock moving. For some reason, the clock is stopped right now. Let's see. They have a timeout. I'm sorry.
Mainland calls timeout with 8:22 left to go in the game. 27-14, Absegami leads Mainland.
Skelly's High Point Pub is open 24 hours a day on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and until 3 a.m. the rest of the week. Skelly's is at Shore Road in White Horse Pike and Absecon. Best in food and drink available to you every single day, and they deliver. The High Point has dinners from 4 to 10 p.m. every day, daily luncheon specials, and all of your favorites. From pizza and wings to cheesesteaks and surf and turf. 7 TVs at Skelly's, all hooked up to 10 satellites for the best sports coverage. Skelly's High Point Pub, 5 North Shore Road in Absecon. Phone the High Point at 641-3172 for takeout or delivery.
Couple scores around the league. Cedar Creek 19 and Oak Crest 7. Middle Township 28-14 leading Pleasantville. Bridgeton 39-0 all over Ocean City. Hood gets the handoff and he goes down immediately. He's going to lose big yards on the play. Nice play by the Mustang defense.
Yeah, he was looking to sweep wide. I mean, that's the same play they've run numerous times in this football game with a lot of success. But right here, Mainland, when they had to make a stop, they did make a stop. And now under 8 minutes left in this football game.
Up at Williamstown, John Chamberlain scores a 2-yard run. They take the lead over Cherokee with 4:36 left to play. Here it's 4th down, and Absegami will punt the football. 4th and 10. Ball at their own 35, and getting the punt off barely, as way back, drifting to the 25 is where the ball bounces, and it rolls to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and out of bounds at about the 8-yard line is where Mainland will get the football back. So a great punt by Christian Henchy.
But Sam Jackson back there to receive the punt really had to make that reception. I mean, he let it bounce over his head, way back inside the 10-yard line to the 9-yard line. It's going to make it very, very difficult. They're going to have to go the long field with 7:33 left in this football game, and they're down by 2 scores.
Now you got to throw the football a little bit here. Couple scores: 41-0 Hamilton over Egg Harbor Township, and 39-0 Bridgeton over Ocean City. First and 10 for the Mustangs. Mindich, the throw, he gets one into the flat, complete at the 15, eludes a tackler, gets across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Edmonds makes the catch for Mainland. It'll be 2nd down and about 1. Pickup of 9 on the reception.
Bunch of tacklers. Henchy probably the #1 tackler there. His ball's going to be marked at the...
And it looks like they're going to give him a 1st down now. So a pickup of 10. It looked like originally they were going to have that 2nd down. That's what the far yard marker, down marker had said. 1st and 10. Mindich rolls to the far side, looking, fires, and it is complete. The 1st down yardage. Ed Moore still on his feet up to around the 35-yard line, and that is Edmonds again. So a pickup of about 15. Welch makes the stop finally for Absegami. Under 7 minutes to play. The clock will stop until they spot the football. 7:02 left to play in the game. Mainland trails by 2 scores. Mindich in a pistol with Walsh in the backfield. Now they're changing sides of the field. They send 2 receivers to the near side. That is Brennan. And Edmonds in the slot. Back to throw. Mindich fires to Brennan. Brennan complete. Gets through a tackler now up to about the 40-yard line. A pickup of about 5.
Again, making a solid tackle is Hubbard. Brennan is a big man at 6'2", 190. He's a senior. Hubbard a lot smaller, but made a really nice tackle.
2nd and 4, gain of 6, 6:23 and counting. Mindich to throw, fires into the flat. Edmonds catches it across the 40. There's a flag on the play, gets a 1st down, but one of the Mustangs is hot. There's a holding call, a penalty thrown right around the 40-yard line as Edmonds got first down yardage, but this is coming back.
Tough one right there. Both teams have had very, very difficult penalties at just the wrong time. Can't afford that when you're looking to get back in this football game with time running out. 6:16 now left in the game. The ball's going to be moved back inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Tough break. They had a first down on the play. So now it'll be second down. And about 14 for Mainland. Ball at inside the 30 now. Mindich to throw, he rolls, he fires, and it is complete around the line of scrimmage. Barely gets back over the line of scrimmage. On the far side of the field as Brennan makes the catch for Mainland. Ryan Gennard pushed him out of bounds. Third down and about 8 now for the Mustangs.
And Mindich has looked better throwing the football in this series than he has the entire game.
A lot of short stuff. A lot of short stuff with him on the move. 3rd and 7, 6:02 to play in the football game. Mainland trails by 2 scores. Mindich in a pistol, back to throw. He rolls to the near side. He pumps, he fires, he's got a man, and it is incomplete. Trying to hit Edmonds in stride, and defending is Maurice Hubbard on the play for Absegami. And the Mustangs are going to punt here as they are kind of conceding that they don't know that they can get the 2 scores in 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Normally you would think you might have to go here if you want to try to get back in the game, although they do have all their timeouts. Dangerous play there by Hubbard. You really didn't realize it, but he jumped up and the ball went over his head to the intended receiver. Still was thrown too far, but if it wasn't thrown quite that far, that could have been 6 right there because the defender was behind Hubbard. I actually misspoke. Mainland used one of their timeouts. They have 2 remaining. Hubbard back deep, stands at around his 25-yard line. It's an end-over-end, bounces at about the 40. It rolls to the 35. Now it comes to the near side of the field, and Mainland touches it up. And Absegami will start with the football 1st and 10 at about the 33-yard line with 5:47 left to play in the football game on 97.3 ESPN FM. And Absegami again probably will look to run the football. Surprisingly, last time they had it, they actually threw the football, but it was some of the short stuff that Mainland was doing, so they just wanted to complete the short pass, just like a running play, let the receiver run with the football, and not really throwing it down the field. So Gami can run some clock here if they hand the football off. Dolan in the shotgun. Dolan hands to Hood. Hood bounces into his own lineman. Now stutter steps and goes down. Short of the 35-yard line. Looked like a pinball machine there as he hit the line of scrimmage. Mike just bounced off his offensive lineman, Matt English, and had to come back and look to get back to the line of scrimmage and still did pick up a couple yards. Michael Buka made the stop for Mainland as the clock continues to run. Coming up on 5 minutes to play in the game. Dolan is having a chat with Hood in the backfield. Sands the fullback. They send a receiver to the near side and one to the far, taking their time. Dolan hands to Hood. Hood is going down immediately, so the Mustang defense holds, and it's going to be 3rd and long. Matt Becker in there makes a nice stop. So that'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 12, but again, Mainland calls a timeout. 4:57 left here in this football game. Yeah, just under 5 minutes, so Mainland's defense holds. They're going to use their timeouts. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Ryan Brumell and his professional staff are waiting to serve you at Boardwalk Honda, Tilt Road in Egg Harbor Township. Shopping's is even better online, you know. You have probably visited their showroom at 1031 Shore Road in Linwood, but at Shoppy.com, you can select and design your own trophy or award and order it right there. Shoppy's also has a complete line of gifts perfect for your holiday giving. Remember, you are not presenting the finest trophy unless you are presenting a Shoppy trophy. Phone 609-653-1684 for Shoppy's since 1921. Back to live action with 4:57 to play in the football game. Absegami with the ball, 3rd down and 12. They've got it at their own 30-yard line. If Mainland could get a hold, they would get the football back. And there's a penalty, and it looked like Mainland might have jumped.
See what the call is. No, it's against Absegami.
I did see a Mustang kind of get out of his stance, but he might have been drawn to that penalty. So Absegami's going to walk back another 5 yards. So it's going to be 3rd down and 17 now. 3rd down and 19 now. 5 more back inside the 25-yard line. Mainland has a safety way back there, standing on the 40-yard line, just kind of playing center field. Dolan in shotgun, sends a man in motion, Hood to the near side, and he squirts it between Dolan's legs, but flags are flying all over the place. Boy, this has been one of the sloppier football games you've seen in a long time, and we're in week number 3. You would think a lot of this would be taken care of by now.
I have a feeling that this is going to be an interesting week of practice for Absegami.
Well, I told you last week, Scuderi, I talked to him. I said, what do you need to prepare for Mainland? He said, we need to cut the penalties out. That hasn't happened yet. They still have the league. And remember, they play Millville next week. Dolan sends a man in motion, Hood. And Hood's going to throw it. He hands it to Hood. Hood throws it, and it is intercepted. Intercepted at the 50-yard line. Breaks a tackle up the sideline, and on the far side of the field, it looks like Matt Thomas, the D-back, comes up and makes an interception for Mainland, and now they have some life.
He's only a sophomore, made a very nice interception, and let's face it, Absegami going out on a limb right there, trying to fool Mainland, but they were not fooled, trying to suck them up to play him on the run, but they really had that pass well defensed, Mike.
So Thomas with the pick, back the other way. The Mustangs come with 4:46 to play. Mindich in a pistol. Walsh, the single setback, back to throw, rolls to the near side. Mindich throws, fires, it's low, he bounces it up in there. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Brennan, the intended receiver. Yeah, he had him just a little bit too low. I mean, Brennan went down to try to snatch it off the turf, but just couldn't get his hands under the football and an incompletion. Now 2nd and 10 for Mainland. The ball just inside the 40 of Absegami at the 39 with 4:41 left in this game.
2nd down, Mainland. They send 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, Brennan. And Mindich back to throw. He rolls to the near side. Now he's going to turn back to the other side for a little screen, and nowhere to go, as immediately making the stop is Tyler Welsh, but they had some blocking down the field. If he could have got out of that tackle. Now Mainland's going with the no huddle. It's going to be 3rd down.
Welsh there with great recognition on the screen and able to cut through any tacklers, or I should say blockers, and make the tackle. Very nice play.
4:18 and counting on 3rd down and 6. Ball at the 39. Back to throw. Mindich, he fakes, he pumps. Now he rolls. Still looking. Now he's going down the field. There's no one in the area. Throws it out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down for Mainland. This could essentially be the ball game. Ryan Swenson, the intended receiver, I guess.
Yeah, really, Hubbard was closer to it than he was.
That ball landed on the track. To give you an idea how far out of bounds he threw that thing.
He was under pressure that time, so.
Williamstown holds on to beat Cherokee. John Chamberlain, 30 carries, 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They win 13-10. So the number 2 team in the online 25, the Braves, hold on. Can these Braves hold on? They're beating Mainland 27-14 with 4:05 left to play. It's 4th down for Mainland. 4th and 6, back to throw. Pumping, looking, rolling to the near side, pressured, throws it up high in the air, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Absegami at about the 10-yard line, taking it across the 20, and Absegami looks like they just sealed this football game on an interception by Tyler Welsh, his 2nd of the night.
They had a heck of a game as Welsh, but on that one, Mike, it could have been one of 2 players. Actually, they were fighting each other to intercept that football, because you talk about a wounded duck. That's what that was, just thrown up in the air. But when it's desperation time in a football game and you got to try to make something happen, those are the kinds of plays that happen.
Yeah, he was pressured and just kind of launched one high in the air, hoping that somebody would be underneath of it. But two Braves nestled underneath, intercepted for the second time tonight. And Matt Thomas's interception goes for naught, as Absegami will get the football back with 3:52 to play in the game.
Of course, the Braves are just looking to run out the clock right here.
Ball at the 22. Dolan hands it off to Hood. Hood tries to break some tackles, and he is thrown down for a monster loss on the play. You always wonder why at this stage of the game does everybody raise the level of play.
Well, I think because Mainland knows exactly what Dolan's going to do. Dolan is multi-dimensional. He can throw it, he can run it. He's very tough to corral when he's looking to throw the football, but Mainland right here is just disregarding Dolan. They know he's going to hand it off, and the likelihood is that he's going to hand it off to Hood.
Check out 973ESPN.com to find out where we'll be next week. I'm not sure. But we will be back. Atlantic City back on next week. Tony will have that call over on 1450 AM. You're home for all Atlantic City high school football games. Of course, they are on bye this week, as Dolan keeps it himself and maybe gets a yard. And it's going to be third down.
Timeout called by Mainland. This could be their last timeout, Mike. I think it is.
So with 2:48 left to play, Mainland calls timeout. They trail it 27-14.
You need a sign? Well, you need Captain Charlie. Captain Charlie at Blue Water Graphics creates signs for real estate and other businesses. He does construction site signs and window lettering for your business. He can also provide the lettering for your van, truck, car, or your boat. You can reach Blue Water Graphics at 609-823-8891. Signs, banners, vehicles, windows, whatever lettering you need, phone Captain Charlie. 823-8891 for Blue Water Graphics. And Eagle Theater in Hamilton is putting on Lombardi, a play about one of the most inspirational coaches of all time. Visit www.theeagletheater.com for dates and times.
We told you earlier, Hamilton beats EHT 41-0. So the Blue Devils with a couple impressive wins after their opening night loss to Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, #1 in the online 25, is off this week. St. Joe plays tomorrow in that monster game against Millville.
Huge.
Sends a man in motion. Hood with the carry and gets back to around the original line of scrimmage. Yeah, I know next week EHT is playing St. Joe's, and the way EHT played Hamilton tonight, a 41-0 game, you could potentially see some trouble for the Eagles ahead. That game against St. Joe next week. And of course, you got a couple other good ones next week. Absegami, this Absegami team, which has been real impressive offensively, is going to play Millville next week. So that game could be one of the better games in the American Conference. Would love to see that game next week between Absegami and Millville.
Yeah, if you take away the penalties, Michael, you've seen them 2 weeks in a row now, so you know better than I do. You take away those penalties, especially tonight, they could have a couple more touchdowns. We're talking 27, 37, 41 points. But, of course, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Their defense might be able to keep them in the game against Millville. Now, Millville plays St. Joe's tomorrow. That could be another Game of the Year candidate as well. We saw St. Joe's Holy Spirit last week. We're going to see Millville St. Joe's tomorrow. Millville wants to show people, hey, you know, no one's really talking about us in the same breath. They are in the online 25, but only at number 10. They like to make their move up that list. So we'll see Millville tomorrow against St. Joe. That game on a Saturday afternoon out at St. Joe, which could be the last year for these Saturday afternoon games at St. Joe, is they're going to put lights out there, it looks like, on the Wood Avenue field.
Don't forget, coming up on October 11th, we have a big one for you right here at 97.3 ESPN FM. Williamstown, who came back to beat Cherokee against a very, very good Eastern team featuring the brother of one Joe Flacco.
That's right. And Tony will have Atlantic City and Oakcrest next week over on 1450. As Oakcrest, tough one tonight that looks like they were losing to Cedar Creek 19-7. Atlantic City looked impressive over EHT. Put up 56 last week, I saw.
They look good. Another game of big plays for Atlantic City against Egg Harbor Township.
St. Joe, Hamilton, Absegami is going to punt here. Henchy back to punt. And the Mainland return man standing at his own 45. And there's whistles. You had to figure that was coming. We're at 9:30. We'll take the post-game show right up to 10 o'clock with Tyler Donahue. There's 2:14 left in this one.
Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Primer. Yeah, you're right. I don't know exactly what he was thinking or what they were telling him, but it's just an extra point. No different, I wouldn't think, from any other extra point. But he did not get it.
Well, you asked the question. I don't know what he was thinking. From coaching a long time, the answer usually is they're not thinking. So with 1:14, an onside kick coming from Mainland. They must get this. They do not have any timeouts left. Absegami does have one. So we've made it a ball game all of a sudden, but Mainland has come down to its final opportunity here. Now Giuliano, who just missed that kick, will kick off here.
And of course, even if they do score, then Bob Coffey's going to have a decision to make. Do you go to overtime or do you try to win it with a 2-point conversion?
You saw the Mainland special teams coach out in the field. He was not happy with his kicker. Final score is Middle Township 35-13 over Pleasantville on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. So Pleasantville goes down again. McNeil with 197 yards. He also threw a touchdown pass. 3 touchdowns for him in 15 carries. So congratulations to Middle Township as they pick up their first win of the season.
So remember, the ball has to go 10 yards.
Needs to get to about right at the 50-yard line, which is where Absegami is awaiting. Here's Giuliano as he walks ever so slowly, swings his right foot through the football. It rolls, it's on the ground, and down it goes immediately. And it looked like Christian Henchy, or Brandon Williams, excuse me, on the far side of the field, caught it and went right to the ground. And Absegami will take a couple knees here, and you would assume sprint out of Linwood with a victory.
A mistake-filled offensive showing, but a very, very, very spirited and very effective defensive showing. Although offensively, even though they had the penalties, they were impressive on offense as well. So they will take a knee here.
For the first time tonight, he'll take a snap under center, and Dolan bounces back, takes a knee, and that should do it. Under a minute to play now, so they'll have to take one more knee here. But the final score will read Absegami 27 and Mainland 20. It sounds close. It could have been a blowout, and Mainland had a shot to get back in this late in the game. A weird game tonight in Linwood, as Absegami will improve to 2-1, and Mainland will fall to 1-2. Don't forget, 97.3 ESPN's coverage of high school football begins on Thursday night next week with the Thursday Night Live show. We'll be featuring Egg Harbor Township, but that's not before Tyler Donahue is out with the post-game show coming up next. And of course, he'll be back tomorrow with the South Jersey Sports Report. For more on this game, check out 973ESPN.com. And Tony Blum will be back on 1450 next week with Atlantic City and Oakcrest. Matt Ulmer shot the video tonight over at 973ESPN.com. Pete Giordano produced tonight's game. We're going to send it back to give those guys a chance to get as many scores and highlights in. Tyler Donahue has the post-game show on 97.3 ESPN. Good night, everybody.